So one of the biggest issues when measuring a home is that there is no standard. Appraisers do it one way, realtors do it another way. You have to find the way that makes the most sense and is the most accurate. Appraisers do have standards that they have to abide by, but assessors don't really, and realtors don't really have a national standard. They might have local or community guidelines. So this is probably one of the biggest issues when it comes to how do we measure a home.
And it's why we tell where we got the square footage. Did we get it from a former appraisal? Did we get it from the tax records? Did we measure it ourselves? That way we know, and everybody else knows too. Okay, so when you're measuring the outside, really to do it right, you need to get out there and measure it. And we need one of these big old wheels so we can get. And so what I usually do is I kind of draw the outline of the house and then I try to make it all fit together. But tax records do occasionally have a plan. The problem with tax records is that a lot of people submit their plans to the building commission. They don't build close to what it was, and they end up adding 50 feet, no, not 50, but they end up adding 5 feet to the back or 3 feet to the side. And so then it's not accurate, which is okay from the perspective of it's a smaller house, you're getting taxed on less. Not really okay, but kind of okay. But it's not accurate. So when you go to sell it, they'll catch you when they see our MLS and it says your house has 5,000 square feet instead of 4,000. So anyway, The way I do it is I jump down here and I go to the edge. And by the way, if you have brick, your house is probably 4 to 6 inches thicker, you get more square footage. And you go to the very edge of the brick and then you come all the way across to the other end. And you have to go around that bay window. Then you have to add for the bay window. So this is the way to get it to be really accurate and you know that it's that way, okay? And if you get to the bay window, what you're going to do is you're going to measure the length of it and then you're going to take out 2 triangles. Okay, and the depth. That's how you do it.
So on a house like this, where we have an open foyer, what is counted on the square footage?
So the way I usually do this on a 1.5 story like this is I take the full base.
Okay.
And then I come in and I, like this is in probably 3, in halfway, and it probably comes in halfway that way. So I take half of it.
Okay.
So I kind of estimate.
So you're not counting the square footage over that open foyer?
That does not count.
Okay.
That does not count. Although in a stairwell, the area above the stairs does count. Do you think appraisers wear hats like this?
They should. If
they
should, don't,
you never know what you're going to run into.
You might run into something. That's right. That's a good thing we got our hard hats on in this attic here because this is a danger zone. All right, so attics. Let's talk about attics.
Okay, so first of all, steel door. So that's because it's fire retardant. So we don't count this area because area that's counted is living square footage, which includes they have to have floors, they have to have a ceiling, they have to have walls, and this has insulation and plywood on the floor, so it's not counted as living square footage, although it could be expanded and made into living square footage.
Right, so somebody could finish this and then it would be counted if they added floors, ceilings,
walls,
the rest of the insulation, etc.
Yeah, this is a good room.
It is a good room. So when I measure, I'm using a laser measurer and I hook this up to the wall here and I aim it over there, find that little red light, and boom, we know how wide this room is. And then I can just come over to this wall here, find another shot there, and there's that dimension of this room. Question, I really should measure it from here because otherwise the staircase is counted in this room.
I'm old school. The reason I use this is because I found that half the time my laser was bouncing off of mirrors and windows and stuff like that, and I know that what I see, if I can see that low, is accurate. Nope.
Oh, no help.
Oh, no. So this is how fast I am. And I lean over, and I now am looking, and it's 20.8. So that means it's 21. As far as our MLS, it's round numbers. So I can measure a house in a flash with this thing. The other thing about measuring a house, our square footage is outside dimensions. So if you have brick on the outside, your house is going to measure a little bit bigger than what your architect's plans show. We also include all the closets, all the walls, the fireplace if it's on the interior wall. We include everything in the living square footage.